Welcome back to the C Morning Show, everyone. It's 6:45 in the a.m. and it's time for your Sunday morning sports update. And we're going to begin with the first match in Japan's rebranded elite football competition, the SB League. That indicates that the competition has been taking the right steps to achieve its goal of becoming the world's top volleyball league.
A sellout crowd filled the Tokyo Metropolitan Gymnasium on Friday night to witness the first match of volleyball's ambitious new SB League. In an atmosphere that was equal parts sports event and rock show, the Osaka-based Blue Town Club served its Class 10 rivals, the Sunbirds, 3-0 in the inaugural match. Blue Town head coach Warren Tilley, who led France to the gold medal at the Tokyo Olympics, described the atmosphere for the opening match as amazing.
It was really amazing for just first match of one league, match of league. It was amazing, the atmosphere, the show, the lights, the everything was really good. And I think the two teams give a good match too, so we had a lot of impressive action.
今日の試合もそうですけど、やっぱり日本のお客さんの盛り上がりであったり、今バレーボール、日本のバレーボールに対する注目度っていうのも非常に高いものなんだなっていうのを改めて感じられたので、本当に世界最高峰に、僕は日本の今回の大同生命 SV リーグはしていけるんじゃないかなと思ってます。
The SB League, which features both men's and women's competitions, is hoping to attract top-level players while adding new fans as volleyball looks to raise its profile beyond the Olympics. The Women's SB League gets underway on Saturday and both competitions will run through to the final next May.
All right, and from volleyball, we shift gears to some golfing updates as Thai golfer Ratanon Wanasrichan maintained his lead for the third straight day of the SJM Macau Open at the Macau Golf and Country Club following a 3-under par 67. This competition remains largely dominated by Thais as Gun Charoenpool is just one shot behind in second following a round of 66, while his compatriot Pavit Tangkamo Prasert shares third place with Chinese Taipei's Liu Yunghua. 2016 champion Pavit carded a 67 while Louis shot a 68. They are now 5 shots behind the leader. Ratanon had a 2-shot lead over Gun at the start of the day and stayed in front by making 4 birdies and 1 bogey. He was slightly more cautious compared to his first 2 rounds, where he scored a 61 and a 66 respectively. However, he placed in a solid effort considering the pressure that he was facing. Meanwhile, Asian Tour #1 John Catlin shares 5th spot with several others. He fired a round of 68 and remains 6 shots back from Ratanon. The American now has quite a lot of ground to cover if he plans to win the SJM Macau Open. His fellow countryman and winner of last year's tournament, Brian Harman, came in with a 68 and is at 9 under par, while defending champion Aussie golfer Min Woo Lee carded a 67 and remains at 7 under. All right, let's move on to some tennis news now as Qinwen Zheng defeated her fellow countrywoman Wang Xinyu 6-3 and 6-4 in an all-Chinese affair on Saturday to reach the Wuhan Open final. Meanwhile, on the men's side, Novak Djokovic will be facing Jannik Sinner in the Shanghai Masters final after the Serbian defeated Taylor Fritz 6-4 and 7-6 on Saturday.
Olympic champion Zheng Qinwen has become the first Chinese player to reach a WTA 1000 final on home soil after she beat her compatriot Wang Xinyu 6-3, 6-4 in the semifinals of the Wuhan Open on Saturday. The 5th-seeded Zheng will face top-seeded Aryna Sabalenka in Sunday's final. Sabalenka fought back from a set down to beat Coco Gauff 1-6, 6-4, 6-4. To reach the Wuhan Open final for the 3rd time. It will be a rematch of the Australian Open final, which Sabalenka won earlier this season. Two-time champion Sabalenka has never lost in Wuhan. She has won all 16 of her matches and claimed titles in 2018 and 2019. Meanwhile, world number 4 Novak Djokovic will face world number 1 Jannik Sinner in the final of the Shanghai Masters on Sunday as he bids to win his 100th ATP title. The Serbian overcame a hip problem to beat USA's Taylor Fritz 6-4, 7-6 in China. The win sends Djokovic into the final against Italy's Sinner, who retained his year-end world number 1 ranking after beating Thomas Machac 6-4, 7-5 in the other semi-final. The 37-year-old Djokovic already holds the record for most singles titles at the Shanghai Masters, with 4 wins in 2012, 2013, 2015, and most recently in 2018. Sunday's final will be Djokovic, 8th time facing Sinner, having beaten the Italian on 4 of his 7 occasions.
And we will obviously bring you the highlights and results from the finals of both the Shanghai Masters and Wuhan Open on tomorrow morning's program. In the meantime, though, let's now turn our attention to some football news as former Liverpool defender Joel Matip announced his retirement from football on Saturday. The 33-year-old left the English club over the summer after his contract expired following 8 years of tenure at Anfield. And during this time, he helped the Reds win the Champions League, the Premier League, the FA Cup, as well as the Carabao Cup. Matip was one of the first signings for then-manager Jurgen Klopp. He arrived at Liverpool on a free transfer from Schalke and notched 201 appearances for the club across all competitions. He played a key part in Liverpool's most recent Champions League campaign and provided an assist for Divock Origi when the Reds defeated Tottenham Hotspur 2-0 in Madrid during the 2019 final. He also contributed to the squad at the FA Cup and Carabao Cup finals in 2022. His final game for Liverpool came last December after he was ruled out for the rest of the season due to an ACL or anterior cruciate ligament injury. Matip was born in Germany but represented Cameroon on the international stage, where he made 27 appearances and played in both the 2010 and 2014 World Cups. And in other football news, the Indonesian football team conducted their first training session in Qingdao, China, ahead of their third Group C match at the 2026 World Cup Asian qualifiers. The Indonesian football team traveled by air for 10 hours to reach Qingdao in China. Most players are currently in good condition except for Jordi Amat and Sandy Walsh, who suffered minor injuries in the previous match. In addition, the team is currently adjusting to the weather in Qingdao, which differs greatly from Bahrain. The Indonesian football team has remained undefeated in Group C of the 2026 World Cup Asian qualifiers following their controversial 2-2 draw against Bahrain. They now occupy 5th place with 3 points, and they must garner a win against China since only the group winner and runner-up will automatically advance to the 2026 World Cup, while those in 3rd and 4th places will be moving on to a 4th round.
오늘 훈련은 뭐 이제 10시간 정도 장시간 비행을 하고 왔고, 오늘은 두 그룹을 나눠서 한 주는 호텔에서 짐을 가볍게 할 것이고, 오늘은 운동에 나와서 경기 참가하지 못했던 친구들은 훈련을 좀 하는 그런 친구들. 크게 부상당할 선수들은 없고, 일단 뭐 조르디하고 산디만 좀 부상이 있고, 남은 선수들은 전체적으로 뭐 컨디션이 괜찮고, 날씨 기온이 좀 차이가 나다 보니까 그런 날씨나 시차 적응을 좀 빨리 해야 될 것 같아요.
Indonesia has so far gained 3 points from 3 draws, which was against Saudi Arabia, Australia, and Bahrain. However, the Garuda squad aims to collect 15 points at least to keep their dreams of qualifying for the 2026 World Cup alive. In addition, the team will be facing China at Qingdao Youth Stadium in Shandong, China on October the 15th.
kita sudah bermain baik, cuman sayang ya di ujung kita nggak boleh terus nyalahkan wasit. Saya udah bilang ke pemain, saya text message satu-satu semua pemain bahwa yang sudah lewat kita ke depan, kita punya mimpi besar 15 poin. Hari ini baru 3 poin, 3 pertandingan. Kalau lawan China dapat 3 poin berarti 6 poin. 6 poin dibagi 4 pertandingan 1,5 poin. 15 dibagi 10 1,5 poin. Masih ada harapan. Tetapi tentu ya kita harus mencari beberapa kemenangan yang ketika kita menjadi tuan rumah, tentunya ketika lawan Bahrain, lawan China, ataupun menyolong ketika kita jadi tuan rumah dengan Saudi, ataupun ya kalau Jepang sulit lah ya, tapi ya kita coba jangan kalah set dulu.
And the head of the Indonesian football team recently confirmed that FC Copenhagen defender Kevin Dix Bakarbesi will be joining the Garuda squad. Furthermore, the Indonesian Football Association chairman Erick Thohir has expressed hopes that the defender's process of naturalization will be done swiftly.
Kembali kalau udah salaman berarti kan udah fix lah, tinggal prosesnya. Ya tentu kita akan mendorong kepada Bapak Presiden, ya setelahnya tentu DPR untuk ada percepatan. Tapi window-nya kalau kita lihat itu di bulan Maret bersama. Tapi kalau bisa November, ya kenapa tidak? Makasih.
All right, that last update wraps up our sports segment. We'll have a recap for you later on before the end of our show. And as our show approaches the second hour mark, when we return from this next short break, we'll have Rahma and Caroline back to share with you the latest from the weekend updates from entertainment. Stay tuned here on the C Morning Show, only on C Today. We'll be right back after this.
Pendidikan biasa di sekolah, di kelas. Tapi di kolong jembatan ini sudah hampir 14 tahun Valen memberikan pendidikan kepada anak-anak.
Terima kasih ya Kak, kita jadi sekarang udah kenal huruf, udah bisa baca, jadi aku udah gak nyasar lagi.
Sampai kapan perjuangan dan cintamu ini kepada anak-anak, memberikan ilmu secara cuma-cuma sampai dipanggil Tuhan?
Indonesia is said to have enormous potential as a coffee producing and consuming country.
We set apart the strategy to make Indonesian coffee tradition is a cheap coffee.
So yeah, I think it's important for us now to think about ESG or sustainability. The first reason for us is we want to be
Cindy. Nomor 1, coba.
Saiki wayahe lur.
Oh, nomor loro.
Yuk, nonton pojok kampung.
Oke, nomor 3.
Beritane wong Jawa Timur.
Pojok kampung beritane lagi hari yo ayu rupane.
Kasih kata-kata dulu buat kalian semuanya. Gak berat zodiak buat kalian semuanya.
Oh, zodiak.
Buat zodiak yang Leo. Jadi buat teman-teman semuanya, tontonin terus akun DJ malam hari ini. Tiap hari jam 11 sampai jam 12 buat kalian semuanya yang di rumah.
Asli sebenarnya kita mencoba untuk menggali apa yang telah ditampilkan KPU dalam literacy-nya dia.
Tingkat kepercayaan publik masyarakat terhadap penyelenggaraan pemilu ini sudah tinggi.
Tapi kita hanya mendapat itu terus terang, tidak transparan laporan itu.
Mana yang kalah, mana yang menang, masih ada upaya kasasi.
Mudah-mudahan besok bisa memberikan hasil yang melegakan.
Benar, berdampak baik pada semuanya lah ini nantinya.
Pengen dapat update info sembako?
Iya. Mau karaokean bareng?
Iya. Pengen dirambal? Iya.
Mau dapat rekomendasi wisata?
Iya. Tonton terus Merdeka Pate,
Kata Pate.
Iya.